welcome back to 24/7 Moms Life. It is Trisha and
Steve
with our Unstoppable Morning Conversation.
Yes, we're here to just come and inspire and talk about life, whether what works for us, maybe what works for you. This is collaborative conversation.
Maybe what hasn't worked for us, maybe our
That's
failures.
right.
I'm taking something off the table. Anyways, yeah, that's why we are here every morning. Every weekday morning, that is. Hey, by the way, speaking of weekday mornings, tomorrow morning, we're not even sure where we'll be coming live from. That could be the airport because we are flying out tomorrow.
Yes, we are. We're having a great time, and we'll probably talk more about it this weekend.
We're going to have a great time.
We are. We're having a great time already. Well, anyway, we're going to be going and meeting with the mastermind that we're a part of. And a mastermind is a meeting of like-minded people who have gathered together to learn and grow with each other.
And when we were thinking about that, okay, we're leaving on Thursday for our mastermind, it made me start thinking about what is the mastermind to me? Who are these people to me? And I began thinking about the word mentor. And I thought, masterminds are actually a lot of mentors brought together in one room that can mentor one another and then inspire each other and all these things. So today we're going to talk about that word exactly, mentor. What does that mean to us? How do you find a mentor? What should a mentor be like in your life? All those kinds of things.
Everyone needs people in your life to help learn from all different aspects. Like I'm meeting a good friend today. I'm going to help mentor him on building a project that he wants to do because I know some information that can maybe help him. And I've asked him many times to help mentor me on areas that he specializes in. He's really good on certain things. And but we need different kinds of mentors in your life, and we need to be mentees.
So either
not manatees, mentees.
Some people call them mentors, some people call them coaches, some people call them masterminds, and it doesn't really matter what word you use. We need these kinds of people in our lives that are walking the journey with us, that are motivating us, that are inspiring us, are encouraging us. So we're going to kind of just talk about maybe the 5 things that we look for when we, or why we, I guess, not look for, but what the 5 reasons we have mentors in our lives.
Right. And let me start this conversation out with saying this. This is super important, especially you moms. I mean, we're all busy. We all have many things to do. You have to seek out your mentorship. You have to seek out. Nobody is going to come to you, or I should say it's very rare when somebody goes, hey, let me spend time with you and impart my wisdom unto you so that you can learn from.
So I don't know if I agree with that.
Really?
Okay. Because I think we have mentors in our lives we didn't seek out. And that we just don't realize who they are and what kind of mentorship they've given us or coaching they've given us in our lives. And so
yes,
I do agree if you're looking for a specific person, a specific type of mentoring in your life, you do have to seek it out. People aren't going to come up to you and go, hey, can I just mentor you? I do agree with that. But I don't agree with the fact. I believe that you can tell Steve and I don't talk about these topics before we start talking about them.
No, but here's my point. I believe you need to be intentional.
Right.
Okay, remember we talked about our talk on Monday? If you just go automatic thinking things are going to happen, things go downhill. Right. You have to push uphill, and that means being intentional.
Right.
And we will talk about how some people, you're going to get mentored in lots of things along your path. But anyway.
Because I think for years and years and years, I always thought, wow, I don't actually have that one person in my life that weekly meets with me or monthly meets with me and mentors my life and gives me all these skills and talks and inspires me or corrects me. I didn't feel like I ever really initially had that person. And one day the light bulb went on that I have many mentors in my life.
Very true.
In different avenues, in different ways. And so some of those ways that I have found that I have mentors in my life are I have people in my life that have just, since I was talking about one today with Steve, that have been in my life since basically Steve and I got married. And both of us have watched their lives and have been mentored by them from afar and in a personal way, but never in a, not professional, but in a, we're your mentors. We're going to sit down with you.
Like not even in a paid capacity or like a counselor, life coach.
They have just been people in our lives for years that we have observed, that have spoken into our
Right.
lives, that
Right.
we have met with, that we have talked with. But there was never like this set, you're our mentors, you're going to speak into our lives. It was just a natural relationship that kind of happened. And for almost 30 years now, they have been a part of our lives in various ways. And we have watched them raise their kids. We have watched them do their marriage. We have watched them do business. We have watched them make hard decisions.
Yeah, it's true.
When they've had to stand up against leadership challenges and issues. And we have watched that, and we have asked them questions. They have shared with us. It has been an amazing journey. And I still, to this day, even when we lived in Mexico, when I would come home, I would meet with her just to go for a walk, just to go for lunch. But and they weren't like these set, like, oh, I need to come for a mentoring. It was just, hey, let's catch up on life. And each and every time, there has been something I've walked away from valuable to me, that has mentored me, that has
Right.
taught me, that has coached me, that has inspired me, that has encouraged me, all those things. And that's what I believe a mentor is. Mentor, because we can go get those official mentors, but we don't all have that opportunity unless, like she said, you really, really seek it out. But in my life, I've had people, I've had books that I've read that have mentored me. I've had Bible studies that have mentored me, videos I've watched, pastors that have spoken into my life. Just this
Right.
huge assortment of people, I would say, have mentored who I am. My mother, my dad, my siblings, my own children have mentored me in many ways. I can remember writing my teenage son a letter saying to him, "Thank you for teaching me."
I wouldn't really call that mentoring.
Okay, they have taught me. They have inspired me. But I
Yes.
believe people younger than me can mentor me. And you can read about it. Go read about it online.
Yeah, I'm not saying they can't teach you something.
There are people younger than me that know things that I don't know.
So we need to maybe define what mentoring is.
Right. I guess what I think mentoring is.
Right.
Go ahead. When you said, let's define it.
To me, mentoring is a person, typically a person, not like a tape process. That's a teaching that imparts their wisdom into your life so that you can learn from them. It's mentoring to me is the ability to hyper accelerate your learning because you're actually learning somebody where it's not necessarily taught all the time, but it's caught. Right?
Right.
I mean, that's the great artists of the world had a maestro or a master that they followed under, and they were being mentored.
Right.
So that to me is the true word
So
of mentoring.
you want more of a professional, like...
It's not what I
person.
want; it's what I think it is.
Okay, so I feel like, maybe I'm using the wrong word, mentor, then I feel like I have people that influence my life
Right.
in many ways. And I think that they have taught me many things, and they could be younger than me. And if you even look online, it'll talk about that.
Yeah.
That people, because basically it's people who show an interest in me, in my successes, who are willing to invest in me, who I align with their values. They help me to be the best version of me.
Absolutely.
And I think that when we talk about my kids, I'm not gonna say my kids don't sit and talk to me and speak into my life, but there are times they've corrected me.
But is your children a trusted advisor?
Absolutely, because I have trained them. They better be trusted in different areas. I would say my kids know more about being a teenager
Let's not
than
get
I know
into
about being a
semantics.
teenager.
Let's not. Let's not focus on all that. Let's not try and define what mentoring is. Let's get to the teaching.
Okay.
About mentoring, because I think we're going to go round and round. It just shows you right there. Everyone's idea of mentoring is completely different. It's kind of a word that's been bandied about too much, in my opinion.
Well, because
everyone talks about mentoring this, mentoring that, and
Right.
they're not really. I don't know. I just feel like it's gotten a little watered down into purpose.
Right. I think a mentor is somebody that, I think first of all, it's somebody that will inspire you in either your professional or your personal life. Like, they're there to inspire you to grow, right? And so they are going to encourage you. And again, that's why I say that I can be mentored by a book. I can be mentored by a speaker. I can be mentored by John Maxwell from a distance. He doesn't even know my name. You know what I mean? Like, I can be mentored from so many different people because they inspire me whether they know it or not.
Right.
They're inspiring me to grow. They're inspiring me to be a better person, a better version of me. And so I think inspiring is in our growth is super important.
See, to me, and what I seek out many times is a real trusted advisor, somebody maybe that could be a little bit detached from me, that could give me an unbiased opinion.
Right.
Could almost be a reflection of a mirror and saying, this is what I see.
Right.
Right? And a mentor.
I think that gets further down in our things of they
Well, let's just
challenge
go through a couple of our
us.
lists.
So the first one is inspire, which is what I was talking about in our personal
Well, I didn't know that was
and
your step.
professional growth.
Okay.
Is the first one is that it's somebody that will inspire you
Yeah.
to grow in who you are, grow in different areas, and maybe there's a certain area you want to grow in, and so they will help you to grow in that area. Again, you seek out a person that maybe you want to model your own growth after. You see that they've grown in these areas, or you see they have this area mastered, right? And so there's somebody to seek out, or they're a book to read about, or again, every book you read, I don't highly suggest that you take in every word of every book you read and like it's the Bible.
Right.
I believe in reading between the lines all the time in a book. Like, okay,
Yeah,
I'll take what
I agree, totally.
want out of the book, what I feel like works for me, what I feel like is something that affects me, and that's how I read a book. Or same with when I listen to a podcast. Same when I watch a video. Same when I.
But
listen to somebody talk.
you say I like when you say inspire, and I would even add another word there, aspire. I sometimes think that a mentor should be somebody you would look up to want to be like.
Right.
You would aspire to be like this one. There's things in their life that you see that you would like to have involved in your life or be a part of your life. And so I agree with you. And so that's it.
Right.
Another good point of what a mentor is looking for is one that will coach and will teach us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will really come alongside and based on their knowledge and their experiences, that they will give you what they've learned in the trenches. I'm telling you what, there's so much you can learn for somebody who has walked the path. Just to say, hey, you know what? I did this. Don't do this. I mean, I can tell you in my development career in building and construction, I've had very good mentors.
That's great.
That have helped me immensely. And matter of fact, I was looking at a huge project. And
go ahead.
Am I skipping out?
Yeah, you're just no. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You don't think Mom's be interested in this? I want to make sure we're on track here, but this is important.
And what's important it is. So when I think of that point that you were talking, the coaching and the teaching us, I think about the moms who have gone before me and who are going aside me, right? Because there are moms who, in my life, when I was I'm still involved in moms because I'm a mentor mom and moms now. But in moms, there were moms that we would have come in and speak that have, and our mentor moms actually at the moms group who spoke to us, who have gone before us, right? They've lived through these trenches. They've gone through the preschool years. They've gone through the elementary years,
True.
the teen years, and they can teach from their experience. But then there's the moms that sat at the table around me who are right in the middle of it. And they also could mentor me in ways because they just experienced potty training and they have some tips that I could learn from, right? Or they just experienced a defiant child and how, a child who started hitting or a child that started lying, or there's just so many different things we all know as moms our kids start, might dabble in or do, that we need other moms who may or who might be in it right now but are finding some success. So you want people around you that can coach and to teach you, that have gone before you, or might even be right in it and can help you along the way as well and journey it with you to coach and teach you as they're going on because they're a step ahead of you. But you want people who are a step ahead of you who can, with their knowledge, their experiences that they've already had, right? In mothering and parenting, in their marriages, have learned things.
Yeah.
But I think there are people who have been married less years than us that still can teach me something because they have faced a challenge I might not have faced yet. And they have walked through it and they found some skills that can help them, or a book that helped them, or a video that helped them, or a seminar they went to that helped them. So we need mentors that inspire us, that coach and teach us. And the next one is that challenge us.
Yeah, so this is where I think your idea of a mentor shifts a little bit. Because for somebody to challenge you, they have to be somebody that has more authority over you, in a sense. You know, they have to, I mean, you can have your friend go, oh, I challenge you to do this. But it's different when a mentor or somebody that is a trusted advisor says, I want to give you this task. I want you to accomplish this task. I
Right.
want you to grow in this part of your life. And I'm going to hold you accountable to it.
Right.
I mean, there's a different level of respect. It's like me sitting down with all my friends that play guitar, if you will. But then my teacher says, here's your task.
Right.
You need to come back with this accomplished. He's
Right.
mentoring me.
No, he's teaching you.
Right. Well, he's even doing more than that, right? He's better than me. He's a trusted advisor. I'm
Right.
trusting him. Where my friends are saying, oh, this is a great idea, try this, but I'm not necessarily held accountable to them.
I guess. I mean,
Well, I'm just talking about
again,
the challenge.
Right.
Isn't it
I
interesting
think
how
it's
the
challenging
definitions-
us to improve, right?
Right.
They see things we don't see. They see our weaknesses. They see areas we need to grow in. And I have people in my lives that are my friends that challenge me.
Yes. I'm not saying you don't.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. That's why I don't necessarily think it has to be. I think that there are people that I walk alongside with that challenge me to improve, to see things that I see differently.
And they're holding you accountable?
Well, I don't necessarily know that I ask them to hold me accountable, but I think that they improve me. I don't know that that is necessarily something I don't know that I necessarily agree or disagree with you. I mean, I think that's a neutral thing. I think that when I say somebody needs to challenge us or improve me, that could also just be they're challenging me.
Right. Now, this
You
is
know
a
what I mean?
really good discussion because this is a great
Because
example.
I think it depends on what it is. Not everything needs to be held accountable for, right?
No, I'm not saying
Right.
everything does, but there's certain people in our life that we respect
Right.
much more highly that we want to make sure that we're
Right.
fulfilling what we've been challenged to do.
Absolutely.
Versus
I try
just
to
a
hold
friend.
you accountable for things, but it doesn't work.
What do you mean?
I clean your closet.
Well, like I brought the pillows into the closet.
You brought
today.
the wrong pillows.
Well, it was an attempt. It was a challenge. Anyway, let's go on. So
But again, back to the challenge us to improve. We want people in our lives that can challenge us to improve. They see things that we don't see. They see weaknesses. They see areas to grow in. We don't always see those. Spouses are great at that. They see weaknesses in us that we don't see in each other. I think our children see weaknesses in us. I think our pastors do. I think friends do, especially because they're the most engaged in our day-to-day life, right? But when you submit yourself to somebody, so if you've chosen to find a personal mentor that is in real life and you are coming to them and you're sharing life with them and what your challenges are, and then they challenge you to improve in those, that's when I think what you're more referring to.
Right.
When you have come to somebody and said, look, I
Right.
want you to speak into my life. I want you to tell me what areas I need to grow in and point them out. And I think that's really difficult for people. I can remember some experiences of saying, hey, we should like really be authentic people with each other. And people are afraid to tell you what they really think about you because they're afraid that you might not accept it, right? So you have to have an open heart and open mind to it too, and not justify why you behave a certain way or why you're doing something. And you need to be able to take that information in and process it and think about it and think about why you behave that way or why you do things a certain way. You have to be willing to do that as
now,
well.
don't you think that's harder to do to somebody that would be your equal or your friend versus somebody that is in a capacity to advise
I
you
think
and
girls
train
and
you?
guys are different, right?
Okay.
So I think that's part of the problem here.
Okay.
Is guys are more out to compete with each other and be better than one another.
No,
No, it's
well,
true.
Well, no.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely
Let me take
true.
that back.
Absolutely.
It is true, but that doesn't mean it
So
just.
I think that's harder for you to feel like somebody that's an equal to you can speak into your life. Where I think girls, we are always asking, hey, do you like this? Hey, do you like that? We're always looking for each other's opinions. So I think if you have a trusted friend that you have trusted, I think it's easier to allow them to speak into your life. I agree. If you don't trust them and you haven't necessarily valued everything they've said or how they're living their life or what they're doing, then that would be harder.
Well, you got to go back to original Greek. Mentor is mentos, kind of like
Mentos.
the little,
Like
little
candy?
candies.
Mentos.
Yeah. And what it means is intent or purpose or ultimately to advise.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning that they have a purpose to train you.
Right?
That's what the true word of mentor is.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
Right.
That's all I've tried to say. That your friends don't necessarily have a true purpose to train.
Oh
you.
no, I have friends that want to
No,
purposely train
no,
me.
no, no, no. Women.
What do you mean?
Women want to train each other. I actually like sitting down at times with a group of women when they're talking, because what I find a lot is they're not really worried about what the person is saying. They're worried about what they're going to say next, and it's really fun because it's almost like a one-up, right?
That's true.
I enjoy it. It's good. I can sometimes get involved in it pretty well.
Well, you're like a girl.
Well, true. Anyway.
Okay, so the next one. Okay, so let's go back to the challenges to improve us. Yes, we want them to challenge and to help us to improve, to see areas in our life that we can grow in, right?
Right.
The next one is to motivate us. We can do it. Keep going. And I think this is where a lot of friends can come involved. I got for instance, a good friend of mine who I feel like can challenge me, who I feel like can speak into my life. She sent me a card the other day in the mail. And it was just a really inspirational card. She just wanted me to know that she was really excited about what I was doing right now at 24/7 Moms, and that she appreciated me, that she was praying for me. To me, that was super motivating. It was, I can do this. I can keep going because somebody is believing in what I'm doing.
I have complete agreement with you.
And so I think motivating is such an important piece of somebody that's mentoring you, coaching, whether it's people in your mastermind, that they motivate you, that you can do this, that you can keep going, that you got what it takes. Your dream isn't silly. Your dream is great. Keep going for it.
Right. I totally agree. I think there's a great part of motivating that we can do it. I think another great thing for mentors is that they provide opportunities for you. They provide ways for you to grow. They find connections that you need.
Right.
Today, I'm going to be mentoring this guy who's a good friend. He's just a little bit my junior, but I'm going to give him good connections to give him an opportunity to do something he wants to do he hasn't done before. Right. It's something I know that he doesn't, that I can impart, and I can share some of that wisdom to him to help him, just like he could share with me. But I'm more of the advisor in this relationship.
Because if you've ever been in a friendship or a situation where you know somebody has information or has a connection or an opportunity, but they're not willing to share it with you.
Right.
They keep it all to themselves.
Right.
That's not what you need to seek out. You need to seek out people who are connectors, who are willing to give you information, give you opportunities, connect you with other people. I love people that say to me, "Oh, I need to connect you with so-and-so because they're doing the same thing you're doing, and you guys would be really great to share with each other." That is somebody who you can look at and go, "Wow, they would be a great mentor because they're willing to share their information and their connections."
Right.
So you want people in your life that are willing to provide opportunities for you, that are willing to give you connections to other people that also who are not afraid, right, of that you might actually go now build a relationship with another person and get information from them, because there are people who are afraid of losing you as a friend or relationship and don't want to even share you, right? So you have to look for people who are willing to provide those opportunities for you.
That's right. You have to really be intentional. And again, I believe that friends can give you good advice, but I do believe there's a difference between a friend and a mentor. I do believe that you have to intentionally reach out.
Yeah, I think the difference of what we're trying to have a conversation, you're trying to talk about a specific type of person, and I'm trying to talk about the fact that we all have multiple mentors in our lives. Things that have mentored us along the way is what I'm trying to explain today.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to explain to our audience that you might be that person that, like me, that doesn't feel like I've ever had that one single mentor in my life that spoke into my life, that inspired me, that coached me, that challenged me, that motivated me, that provided opportunities. I've had multiple sources of mentorship in my life. And that might be my senior pastor's wife, who I would literally sit down in her office once a week and blah, 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 and she would...
No, but that to me is mentoring.
Right,
that
but
was
that
mentoring.
wasn't like this official, like...
I didn't say it had to be official.
I'm not saying that. Stop arguing with me. You're
You're
being a bad
mentee. some good marriage dialogue right there.
You're being a bad mentee.
I know. All right, it's your show. We'll go with you.
And so I had her in my life, right? And then there's this other lady that I'm going to be going walking with today, right? She and her husband have been these other mentors in my life who I have observed from afar and from up close in the way that they've raised their kids, and she was one of our MOPS mentors that would get up and speak. And I've learned so much from her. And then there are the friends that I've had that have challenged me, that have taught me that I've sat in mom groups with. I used to meet with this group of moms, and we met once a week, and we talked life about our kids, and we were all in the same stage of life, but we were literally I call them peer mentoring one another of, oh my gosh, I totally relate. That is exactly what my teen is doing, but this is what we're doing in our house right now, and it seems to be working. This seems to be working, and then they do that. So I found that kind of a source of mentoring, of coaching, of inspiring me. And then there's all the zillions of books I've read, from John Maxwell to Andy Stanley to, I don't know, there's women that I've read, there's all kinds of different books. And then there's all the Bible studies that I've done, whether it be one of my most favorite Bible studies ever was when Robin Wilkerson, a good friend of ours, she led a Bible study at our women's group years ago. I'm really dating myself, it was over 20 years ago. To the videos of Priscilla Schreier and Beth Moore. And right now I'm using a Beth Moore devotional CD in my car. I'm the old-fashioned CD. I found it at Hobby Lobby. Plop it in and I get a 15-minute devotion in my car while I'm driving. And those are all things that have inspired me, have coached me, have challenged me, have motivated me, have provided opportunities for me. And so I see all those things as mentoring, a process of mentoring me.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from.
So I'm talking about how have I been mentored in my life, and these are ways I want other people out there to know. If you don't have that one person in your life, don't feel like, oh, I have nobody telling me. Get up, come on, get a book, read it. Go find a YouTube video.
We are in agreement.
Watch some TED Talks. Sir. You can find people in your life. Find people in your life. Go for a walk with somebody. Is there somebody that you think, wow, I just really admire the way that they, oops, it's time to confirm my flight for tomorrow. I love the way that they have raised their kids, or the way that they do life with their spouse. Go for a walk with them. You don't have to make this official, please mentor me. You just start talking.
Oh,
it's
absolutely. No, I totally agree.
So that's, I think, more what I've been talking about today.
So, yeah, and so the point here about all this is be intentional.
Yeah.
It's like this is the important part. Nobody cares about your growth except you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, your kids care, your husband cares most of the time.
Yeah.
But you need to care about your personal growth.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Well, he might be caring about going golfing too. But nobody cares about your personal growth as much as you do. And so don't make excuses. That's what we're just trying to say. Use every tool available to you possible. And every tool you don't have, this is the great part, is that you go ask questions and you talk to other people. I mean, we're going this weekend to be with a bunch of people that we never knew. We had to seek these people out. Yeah. We had to join a group, and then we had to purposely go in and we had to introduce ourselves to all these new people.
We paid to have friends.
We did.
Because we're in a mastermind, and generally masterminds you pay to be in. And so we are part of this mastermind of some pretty outstanding people who have not only in their personal lives of giving and serving, but also in their leadership and in their businesses and their entrepreneurial. And they're from all different walks of life, all different. Right. And we all come together, and it's pretty amazing just to
the one singular connection that brings us all together, though, is that we're all self-starters. Yeah. We're all self-starters.
So we desire to be a self-starter. Because some of them, when I meet them, they are just walking into it.
They are just walking into it. And that's why I think that if we do another mentorship group or our mastermind group, that we go with a group that's even more focused. Right. Even kind of already in their game.
We get around people that are, you know what, there was I think it's Maxwell says it, I'm not sure, I could totally be quoting the wrong person, that you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right. Exactly. That's
because then you're not learning, you're not being challenged, it's harder to be motivated, you're not being provided with opportunities, right? So you never want to be the smartest person in the room. And so I think that's a really key thing. But anyways, we need to end the show, but I just want to remind you to find people, to find books, to find YouTube videos, to find Bible studies, whatever, that will inspire you in your personal growth, that will coach and teach you, that will challenge you, that will motivate you, and that will provide opportunities for you for your future.
This is part of your growth plan, like we talked about, right? Yeah. And we know it's hard. We know it's hard. Yep. But it's okay. Yep. That, life is supposed to have struggle. Right. So it's okay.
We have to be the pilots that go after it, right? No, it's not going to come to you. So go after it. Okay. So you can do it. We believe in you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I don't know where from. Maybe the airport. Talk to you soon. Bye.